Think about the terrifying message that sends throughout the entire organization, the league, the front offices, the coaching staffs, and every executive watching this unfold from behind closed doors. If the fans are willing to push back this hard, this fast, and this publicly, then the old way of doing business is no longer sustainable. Because this is no longer just about wins and losses. It is no longer just about rivalries, physical play, or heated competition. It has become a battle over the future direction of the league itself. For years, the WNBA searched for a breakthrough moment. For years, executives dreamed about larger television audiences, packed arenas, increased sponsorships, and mainstream relevance. Then that opportunity finally arrived. The spotlight grew brighter. New fans flooded into the sport. National attention followed. But with greater attention comes greater scrutiny. Every controversial moment is now magnified. Every questionable decision is dissected. Every storyline spreads across social media in seconds. What might have once gone unnoticed is now debated by millions. And that is exactly why the reaction has become impossible to ignore. Fans are paying attention. They are watching every game, every interview, every post-game comment, and every league decision. They are forming their own conclusions, and they are making their voices heard louder than ever before. The reality is simple. Passion drives sports. Emotion drives engagement. Fans invest their time, their energy, and their money because they care deeply about what they are watching. And when they believe something is wrong, they are not going to stay silent. That is the environment the league now finds itself navigating. The pressure is growing. The spotlight is intensifying. The conversations are becoming louder and more difficult to control. And every week, the stakes seem to get higher. Because the future of the league will not be determined solely by executives, coaches, or media personalities. It will also be shaped by the fans. The same fans filling arenas. The same fans driving television ratings. The same fans creating unprecedented levels of attention around the sport. And if there is one lesson from everything that has happened so far, it is this. Those voices are no longer willing to be ignored. The question now is not whether the debate will continue. The question is what happens next. The league's biggest names, the players who should have been celebrating this unprecedented growth, instead found themselves trapped in a cycle of resentment and hostility. Rather than embracing the attention flooding into the sport, they appeared determined to fight against the very force driving that attention in the first place. And that is the contradiction at the heart of this entire controversy. The league desperately wants the benefits that come with explosive growth. It wants the ratings. It wants the sold-out arenas. It wants the sponsorship deals, the television contracts, and the national headlines. But growth comes with change, and change often creates uncomfortable realities. The reality is that millions of people are watching now who were not watching before. Millions. Every controversial foul is clipped, shared, analyzed, and debated within minutes. Every missed call becomes a national discussion. Every post-game quote is dissected from every possible angle. There is nowhere left to hide. The old days of operating in relative obscurity are over. That is why moments that might once have disappeared after the final buzzer now dominate social media for days. The audience is larger. The spotlight is brighter. The consequences are greater. And that is exactly why the reaction surrounding Caitlin Clark continues to generate so much attention. Whether people agree or disagree with the criticism, whether they support the players involved or defend the league's handling of the situation, one fact remains impossible to deny. People care. They care enough to watch. They care enough to argue. They care enough to buy tickets, purchase merchandise, and fill arenas across the country. That level of engagement is something every sports league dreams of creating. Yet the debate continues to grow louder. Questions continue to be asked. Fans continue demanding answers. And every new controversy only adds more fuel to a fire that already seems impossible to contain. Because at its core, this is no longer just a discussion about a single player, a single coach, or a single game. It has become a debate about the future identity of the league itself. What kind of product does the WNBA want to present to the world? What kind of culture does it want fans to associate with the sport? And how will it navigate the enormous expectations that come with unprecedented popularity? Those questions are becoming more urgent with every passing week. The spotlight is not fading. The attention is not slowing down. If anything, it is growing stronger. And as the pressure continues to mount, every decision, every controversy, and every public response will be judged by an audience larger than anything the league has ever experienced before. The entire sports world is watching. And what happens next may define the league for years to come. They can't hide anymore. The spotlight is simply too bright. The audience is simply too large. And the questions are becoming impossible to avoid. Because every time another controversy erupts, every time another hard foul dominates headlines, every time another debate explodes across social media, the pressure intensifies. The league finds itself facing the same fundamental challenge over and over again. How do you handle unprecedented attention? How do you manage the arrival of a player capable of transforming the economics, visibility, and cultural relevance of an entire sport? Those are the questions dominating conversations across the basketball world. And whether the league likes it or not, those conversations are not going away. Fans are invested. Media outlets are paying attention. Sponsors are watching. Television partners are monitoring every development. The stakes have never been higher. That is why moments like this resonate far beyond a single game, a single coach, or a single social media account. People see them as symbols. Symbols of larger frustrations. Symbols of larger debates. Symbols of a growing divide between what many fans expect from the league and what they believe they are actually seeing. That perception, fair or unfair, is driving the conversation. And perception has consequences. It shapes public opinion. It influences engagement. It affects trust. It determines whether casual viewers become long-term supporters or decide to move on to something else. That is the challenge facing the league moving forward. Not just winning games. Not just increasing ratings. But maintaining confidence among the millions of people who have recently discovered the sport and decided it was worth their attention. Because attention is difficult to earn. Trust is even harder to build. And once either one is lost, getting it back becomes exponentially more difficult. The reality is that fans have more options than ever before. They can spend their time anywhere. They can spend their money anywhere. They can follow any league, any team, any player they choose. Nothing is guaranteed. Not loyalty. Not relevance. Not growth. Those things must be earned continuously. That is why every decision matters. Every controversy matters. Every response matters. And every public reaction matters. The league now stands at a crossroads unlike anything it has faced before. One path leads toward stability, growth, and long-term success. The other leads toward continued division, endless controversy, and unnecessary conflict. The choice ultimately belongs to the people running the league. But one thing is absolutely certain. The fans are watching more closely than ever. They are paying attention to everything. And they are making their voices heard louder with every passing day. The era of silence is over. The era of accountability has begun. And the next chapter of this story may be the most important one yet. This is why the conversation continues to grow louder with every passing day. Fans are watching. Analysts are debating. Former players are weighing in. Social media is flooded with opinions from every possible angle. And regardless of where people stand on the issue, one reality has become impossible to ignore. The attention surrounding these games has reached a level the league has rarely experienced before. Every controversial moment becomes a headline. Every hard foul becomes a national discussion. Every coaching decision, referee decision, and league response is examined under a microscope. That level of scrutiny changes everything. It raises expectations. It increases accountability. And it forces organizations to respond to concerns in ways they may never have faced before. The question now is not whether people are paying attention. The question is what the league chooses to do with that attention. Will it use this moment as an opportunity to strengthen the sport? Will it embrace the unprecedented interest pouring into the game? Will it find ways to unite longtime supporters and new fans behind a shared vision for the future? Those are the challenges that will define the next chapter. Because moments of rapid growth are rarely simple. They create excitement. They create opportunity. But they also create tension, disagreement, and enormous pressure. How those pressures are managed often determines whether growth becomes sustainable success or a missed opportunity. That is why so many people continue to care about this story. They are not just watching individual games. They are watching the evolution of an entire league. They are watching how leaders respond. They are watching how players respond. And they are watching how the sport adapts to a level of visibility that continues to expand. The outcome will not be determined by one controversy. It will not be determined by one interview. And it will not be determined by one social media decision. It will be determined by the choices made moving forward. The decisions made under pressure. The willingness to listen. The ability to adapt. And the commitment to building a product that fans want to support for years to come. One thing is certain. The spotlight is not going away. The audience is not shrinking. And the conversation is far from over. The entire sports world is paying attention. The next move belongs to the people leading the game. And everyone is waiting to see what happens next.